Welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Alola Kinayo. I've been quiet. And it's because there's so much happening in this country. We have the ECL situation. Suddenly, there's an accusation of poisoning, and the South African police are interested in investigating this poisoning. And my question is, who is the complainant, right? Who went to complain to the South African police to say, we need to have an autopsy done because we are suspecting poisoning? Because what I know is ECL left the country as an individual, as an ordinary citizen, and he went and registered his family as the next of kin, right? His family members are the next of kin. So I'm just wondering from where I'm seated, since ECL is dead, he cannot request for a post-mortem on himself, then the next of kin should be the family to raise an issue of a post-mortem on him. So the family clearly are not the ones who have suggested this post-mortem, because they are being reported as being investigated or questioned in line with the same, and being called upon to release the body even for a few hours so that this autopsy can be done. I smell a very big fat rat, rotten rat, a fat one. I do. And I'm just praying for the Lungu family, for God's grace and for God's strength, because whatever this thing that is happening is just crazy. I cannot imagine being a member of the Lungu family going through all this. I can't imagine the emotional strain and drama of this whole predicament. And so the best I can do is just to pray to God to help them, to give them strength, and to help them to go through this whole thing to an expected better positive end, right? And then we had the ministers fired, right? We had Minister Mchima and Minister Mubanga fired, and there was speculation. No, maybe it was the dancing for Minister Mchima. And I don't think there's anything wrong with dancing. He's an expressive human being and he loves dancing. And I think being a leader does not mean you should stop being who you are. And if you enjoy dancing, please, by all means, continue dancing, right? What I have a problem is when it's actually bordering on unconstitutional actions or illegal actions or unethical actions. Then my brain goes like, this is something I need to understand. So today we've had rumors and information coming out that, oh, actually there is a potential that there were UPND MPs that did not vote for Bill 7. Now, why is this information extremely important? It makes the whole Bill 7 voting become a very questionable activity. If you remember, the Patriotic Front had a 3-tier decision that it had centered that MPs were not supposed to do certain things and they were not supposed to participate in the voting. And of course we got to hear that no, there were actually PF members, PF MPs that did go in and they voted yes, right? So the information that was conflicting was that there were supposed to be 136 MPs in Parliament at the time of voting. And we understood that 135 voted yes. So under the PF, there were numbers saying, I didn't vote. And the question was, who really voted and who didn't? So the issue was like, they're all guilty, right? However, with this information, we are now hearing that there were even UPND members of Parliament in a number exceeding 2-3 who potentially equally did not vote for Bill 7. What that means is that the whole result is now being questioned, is now questionable. And the whole voting of Bill 7 has just moved from being a sealed deal to a situation that needs careful consideration. And every well-meaning Zambian should be concerned extremely concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running a country that involves human life. And if people are playing imingalato concerning even our constitution, we cannot sit back and just tolerate it. And this then therefore leads me to talk about as the opposition. I'll start at home as the Patriotic Front. What is happening is just so saddening. How some of you cannot even see who is causing more drama in the party and who is working tirelessly at uniting the party. You should ask yourself, this group of Mundubile deliberately acted in the way that led to them expelling themselves from the PF, cutting themselves away from the PF. But even after doing that, they want to continue posing and acting like they are part of the PF, and you PF members are still being seen as being misled. Some of you, we see you saying you're endorsing, and this is what you should be asking yourself. Why is it important that somebody who has gone out and decided to stand and become president, Ugoku Tonsoko, that claimed Tonso of theirs, why does he need you to endorse him? He's already a presidential candidate. You haven't had anybody coming up to say, we are endorsing President Fred Member. You haven't had anybody in CF coming, that's SP, and you haven't had anyone in CF coming and say, we are endorsing President Calabar. So why is this Tonse, supposed president, demanding or going around and getting PF members to endorse him? You should be asking those questions. Wisen up. Or if you are blinded, may God pull off those blindfolds from your eyes. There's a problem in this team called Team Mundubile, which has separated itself from the PF. Why does it keep looking back? Then we heard there was a 12-day ultimatum that Honorable Makebi and President Lubinda should become vice president to Mundubile. Like, seriously, what kind of nonsense is that? Okay, I'm sorry, but it's just nonsense. There's no other word that I can use, because there is no way you can come out from a group. When they said we have removed PF from Tonsa, you remained there, and then you went for this same fake convention, and you have been elected there without us as a president, and you've been screaming how you're so popular and you're standing to be president. And suddenly, despite having Chifumubanda there as your vice, and the other lady Vamwenya as your vice, and also having the second runner-up to your so-called election, Badani Pule, why are you coming back to us to say one of our leaders should become your running mate? Like, honestly, the audacity. The audacity. And the question that I beg each one of us to begin to ask ourselves is, why is there a need for them to have these groups keeping on endorsing them? That information, initially I thought that information was for us. In the PF that we see that is happening and what, but I'm beginning to think that information is for the people that are sending them. So that those people can see that yes, they're making strengths, that they are moving and they're actually managing to divide our party. Because that's the whole thing. The Mundubile action is simply there to actually create division in our party. Because even if, God forbid, one of our leaders say, I'm coming there to be a vice, what will happen? Those that have gone ahead and joined him and those that have remained, there's still going to be something between us that is not going to be unifying. So the whole action of the Mundubile team was not unifying. And yet they want to come back. So we have forgotten about you. You're not PF, and we, the PF, still intend to have a convention to choose a leader. And that's why I'm appealing to the remaining leaders that please, let's unite. Let people see unity in us. And may nobody walk away from the decision of the convention. The Zambian people want us to unite. Look at what has happened. Potentially Bill 7 maybe never went through. And yet here we are being told it did. We need to unite. This is serious, man. Put aside your egos and your personal ambitions. Some of you are young. Wait. What's wrong with waiting? Be the bigger person. You can't expect this person who is running out of time to wait for you. How? Come on, guys. Let's do the right thing. Mingala, the right in our eyes.